today we'll be talking about selecting the best LLMs in the current situation, what all things you need to consider, and how you evaluate in selecting the LLMs, and how you do the benchmarking, and what all the challenges you might come across, and also the governance part of the AI side, like what all challenges you might see and how you solve it, and what kind of guardrails you need to put it in front of AI in selecting the models. So that is the topic is all about. So I am Sundeep Paluru, as my fellow colleague just said that I am working as a senior engineering manager at Freshworks. Prior to this, I was working I had experience as a solution architect and delivery architect in previous organizations, and I have about like 16 years of industry experience. And now I head multi-cloud AI platform and DevOps platform in Freshworks. So that is about me. Before we move on, I know you might see in other Freshworks presentations as well. So I just want to give some background on Freshworks. So we are Freshworks was founded in 2010 by Girish Mathurbutham and Shan Krishnan, and we are a SaaS company. We are about 67 plus customer base, which includes enterprise, large, medium, and small. So this is some background about our company, and our products are spread across IT, customer, sales and marketing. Our flagship products are like Freshdesk, Fresh Service, Fresh Chat, Fresh Sales and Marketer. And also recently we have introduced Freddy AI platform, where Freddy is something kind of an AI agent, or you can kind of a friendly neighborhood where it helps across all our products. So it stitches or integrates across all the products basically, right? So these are the few of the AI features, and we have many more. So this is all about Freshworks. Okay, coming back to today's agenda, right? So today we'll be talking about what is Model Cockpit. So Model Cockpit is the tool what we use here for our model promotion process and all things what is happening behind the scenes within Freshworks when it comes to AI. And we also talk about what is Gen AI and the concept of blue pill, red pill. It's something interesting, which is a small story which I will be telling how you choose the models. And also we'll be talking about the life cycle of a model and what is the high level design we have implemented within Freshworks to manage the life cycle of a model. And the last but not least, if you choose to host your own model, how you tackle your scaling, cost, operations, and security, and with all the modern techniques and things like that. So these are the topics which we'll be talking about today. So first thing is first. So what is Model Cockpit? So the idea of Model Cockpit is like, assume you are a pilot. You're kind of getting into a plane cockpit. So a pilot needs to have full control of your cockpit with all the controls, validations, and everything before you take off. In the same way, Model Cockpit is something where a cockpit for data scientists, developers, and engineers, where they have all the controls, validations, and governance for taking off from ground level to the live environment or production environment. So that's the reason we named it as cockpit, where it has persona kind of application. It's a persona based application, so each persona has its own interface and things like that. So we're gonna show you the quick demo, like how different personas works using this tool. Yeah, next thing is it's all about Gen AI, how you manage the Gen AI platform. So it's $1 million question, right? For all the organizations, using Gen AI is one thing, and how you manage the platform is the other big thing to make sure you run your business in the right way. So to manage your ML platform, you need to make sure you're strong in your engineering, which cuts the challenges, like it cuts across the engineering sectors as well as it cuts across different domain sectors. So ML engineering cuts across software engineering, data science engineering, and DevOps engineering. And from ML industry domain perspective, it cuts across ML expertise, domain expertise, and policy expertise. So these are the important sectors where people should have skills in managing a ML platform basically, right? So that is the thing. And where does ML fits as we speak today? So LLMs fits in many areas, and majorly it is used in following areas, like people are creating a lot of chatbots for different use cases, content generation, code generation, sentiment analysis, DNA research, and many more. And the list is increasing day by day. So that is the application of LLMs as we speak. Okay, I want to ask, before I continue, I want to ask a quick question. How many of you think LLM is good or bad in terms of the future job perspective, or how you see the future as a tech engineer? So please raise your hands. So how many people think it's good for the future? Okay, that's a good amount. Yeah, and rest of you think it's bad. So, okay. No, it's not bad as such, but so, okay, let me move on. So, yeah, it comes with a lot of good things as well as some concerning things. So, good things are like we are innovating a lot. We are applying in many new area sectors which we are not able to crack, like health sector, entertainment, and this thing. And from engineering perspective, we are also kind of invested a lot in terms of, so previously it was very difficult for us to prevent a detection and things like that from security perspective. But using LLMs now, you can do the threat detection and things like that using the models, and it can predict the alerts and give you an alert, basically a warning before something happens. Whereas from the things which people are working to solve the cons is like, yeah, there is a lot of content privacy issues, and it has fairness bias issues. It has a lot of hallucinations, and all the cons as we speak. Everyone, all the engineers or data scientists are working on it, and they are improving the model day by day as we speak. Okay, going to the next section, red pill, blue pills story. How many of you seen Matrix movie? Okay, there is a lot. I think mostly the 80s, 90s, everyone would have seen that movie. So how many of you know about red pill concept and blue pill concept? Can anyone tell what is red pill, blue pill, what is for? Correct. So, okay. So our Morpheus is here. So red pill gives you the reality or the freedom, and gives make you put out of the simulation world and gives you all the freedom. Whereas blue pill, you will be sitting inside the simulation with limited access, and you will be working with their own rules and guidance, basically. So where this analogy I'm trying to bring in, right? So red pill, let's assume red pill is a self-managed LLMs, whereas blue pill is managed LLMs. So in Matrix movie, there is only one way, like you take red pill and go inside, but here you will have multiple times with many pills, because each pill you can consider as an use case. Every use case is different, and for every use case, you need to choose the right pill. In case by mistake, if you choose the wrong pill, it's a big bill for your company, basically. Okay. Okay. So red pill. So where does the self-managed LLMs plays a huge role? So when you have huge number of calls, when you have a huge number of token requirements for your use cases, and if you want to have full control of your privacy, and if you want to have full control of your code and model and things like that, that's where your red pill, that is self-managed, will be helpful. Whereas the blue pill, it's kind of vice versa, where you have minimal control. Most of the models are controlled by your own providers, or whoever owns the proprietary of the model, basically. Like for example, GPT-4, we don't know what is running behind, we just get answers. The same way, the other factors, I would say the maintenance is very low, because you just they are just exposing the endpoint, you just use the endpoint, basically. Whereas here you need to maintain a platform, you need to give the same capabilities as managed, so that your workloads can run based upon your use cases, basically. So these are the primary differences in choosing your red pill or blue pill. Okay. Okay, before, there is one important factor for every company, the economics of the company, in terms of choosing the which pill you need to take, basically, right? So let's take an illustration, like you wanted to see you see a use case where it is comparable use case, and you're getting same result, where you see Llama 7B, and you're comparing with the GPT Turbo 35 model, where you're getting same amount of quality and response, so it's almost same. But when you host it in a self-hosted way, here you see you can host self-managed in a G5. It requires at least 8 GPUs, and it will cost you around like $12,000 a month, and also you need to account the operational expenses as well. So I would take it as $20,000 a month. And if same thing, if you wanted to host a turbo, let's assume you are sending 1,000 tokens and you're getting back another 1,000 set of tokens, that is totally 2,000 tokens, which will cost you around like $0.035 per 2,000 tokens. For a sake, let's take it as 25,000 is what you're spending. So for $25,000, you might get like 5.4 million votes and 7,100K tokens. So this is what you get for that money, basically. So let's take a use case where you have a use case, and I don't want to go to the use case, but let's assume this use case, I mean, the customer is querying like 10,000, sending 10,000 queries per day. So that is like per day, per month, it is like $1,050. So in this situation or in this scenario, the winner is managed LLM, because the self-managed LLM is fixed, the cost is fixed, whereas the managed LLMs, the cost varies based upon the usage. So in this kind of use case, I would choose Blue Pill because my cost is way less, it is 1/10. I don't want to spend $20,000 for this particular use case. But let's assume you have a use case, different use case, but you expect like 200K calls for that particular use case. So in that case, you would spend around like 21,000 for the managed, and this number is fixed. The self-managed goes to 21K and managed is fixed. So you are seeing a break even there at the bottom, and post which any other queries and whichever goes beyond 200K is an advantage for the business, basically. So this is the economics what we came across and what we kind of struggled in terms of the initial stages when we were implementing the AI features. So yeah, this is where it's derived, basically. So it's choosing the red pill, right pill is blue pill is very important. So choose the right pill. Okay. Let me move on to the next topic. The life cycle, the model life cycle using Model Cockpit. So this is how the high level design looks like within Freshworks, how behind the scenes what we run and things like that. So we have self-managed LLMs, we have managed LLMs. This fleet is completely owned by us, and all the traffic is coming from the customers to the products to the Gen AI platform. And the AI governance is a tool which we developed within Freshworks, where we can control the fairness and bias and also all the attacks, AI related attacks. Also, it can prevent certain abuse kind of scenarios. Like if you ask to make a bomb or something, it says, I cannot answer that or something like that, right? So all those capabilities are built in here. So everything should pass through that. But we are building, but where the Model Cockpit plays role. So we are giving users and all the employees or data scientists within the organization to play around with all the models, use cases and things like that, because we don't want, as the previous speaker was telling, if you guys are there, we don't want our data to be out. We don't want some developer copy the code, put it in ChatGPT saying, I want something out of this, because that is a risk. And there are a lot of cases recently filed. Many of the data is on internet, everyone can access it, basically. So we wanted to restrict that and constrain it through this process, so that everything goes through the Model Cockpit, where the promotion happens. Like once you play it within the Model Cockpit, and the data scientists assume, like, let's say this model is good for the use case, they're going to promote it to the staging. And if staging validation is successful end to end, then they're going to do it for the production. And the same scenario applies for the managed LLMs. Because in case of managed LLMs, it is just the version upgrade, because we are not hosting anything, it's all managed. But in case of AI Fabric is something we manage as a platform end to end with all the modern capabilities, which I'll be talking in the later other slides, basically. And yeah, so this is the model promotion process what we followed. I just explained in the previous slide. So it starts with model selection, model onboarding, where we do the licensing and benchmarking and validation, and model promotion. In model promotion, we'll promote to the AI Fabric. We have end-to-end validation. We do all kind of stress testing and API and token limitations and things like that. And the final stage is like going to the live environment. So this is you can call it as a pipeline or a promotion process, whatever. And each promotion process, it has its own pipelines and things like that. And going a little deeper, how the model cockpit high level design looks like. So Model Cockpit, let's assume is a tool built by us. It has the capability to access via UI as well as API, and it can connect back to the managed and self-managed LLMs again through an API, right? And left side, whatever you're seeing, these are the personas: user persona, developer persona, data scientist persona, and AML admin. ALM admin kind of controls all the personas, in terms of determining what access people need and things like that, right? So I'm gonna show you a quick demo of Model Cockpit and how people kind of play around within the company in terms of choosing the models and things like that. And also we will show a few quick scenarios. So we're gonna go quickly for the user and developer model things. 1 second. Yeah, so here we go. So we have this is the portal. So this is the interface. We are kind of authorized and getting authenticated to the Azure AD. So this is user persona. This is the landing page, how it looks like. And you see the list of models here, which we are hosted. It is a mix of managed and self-managed LLMs. These are all the controllers. Now, okay, so now I'm asking to write a code using code llama 34 billion parameter, and it gives me beautiful code with all the formatting and things like that, and it explains what it does and what kind of functions you are using, and it also gives me an example, right? Now I'm trying to use the same prompt input for the llama 7 billion parameter. So obviously the code quality and the explanation quality drops significantly because of the size of the model as well as the quality of the model. And before I move on, so I just want to touch upon one thing. Okay. The generalized versus fairness, specialized models. I want to talk about this topic, but generalized model is something you can consider as llama as a generalized model, but code llama is something like it's a specialized model for coding. So so you need to pick the models in such a way that it matches to your use cases. You cannot use llama for your coding scenarios and vice versa, basically, right? Okay, so let me move on. So this is our prompt library. So we capture each and every request inside our database, and we use this information for training our own data within the organization, so that we know who is doing what and we know what is happening. So this is the role request. Let me go a little back. Okay, so now I request as a developer. Now I get the admin access. Now this is the admin dashboard, how it looks like. So people have requested to choose what kind of role they want, and once we approve, you get the access to the developer. In developer interface, you get a lot of configuration settings there for your use case. You can tune it, and you can get the values accordingly, so that you know for your use case what kind of parameter sets, basically, right? How it works out, basically. So here, here you can see that we have two models. This FLLM summarization and refresh. So these are our own models. We are kind of doing an R&D on these things. These models are, we call it Freshworks LLM models, basically. So let me quickly show you. So this is fine-tuned on top of foundational model Mistral. Now what I'm trying to do is so currently the trending topic is about the politics. So I'm just copying some 4 or 5 paragraphs of the article. Now I'm asking it to summarize using the fine-tuned model. So it gives me a list of, the beauty is it tells me the subject of what is the content you are pasting, and it also give me the bullet points so that I know what is happening, basically, right? So I don't need to go through the 5 paragraphs or things like that. So the model is designed in such a way that the instruction has given in such a way that behind the scenes, it takes the information and it gives you a subject and it gives you a response, basically. Now I'm going to fine tune this because it looks even more bigger for me. So I wanted to squeeze it down by playing around with the numbers. Now I get just 4 or 5 bullet points with more precise information, right? So that's the capability what you get in the developers uh, persona basically. So they can play around, they get the details saved, and that's where they go and kind of take it to the next level basically, right? Now I just gonna show you how we access. We are also trying to give developers and everyone within our organization to access these models through an API, because no developer want to go to the web UI and type. So this is not the right scenario, right? Because they want the integration with the API so that their application can talk to an endpoint and they can access it basically. So we are giving those capabilities as well. So it is one endpoint with multiple models. You just define the model within your JSON. So here you can see this is a different article altogether. So here I'm trying to use FLLM summarization on the top. Show you here, and this is the prompt, and these are my max tokens and things like that. So initially I'm getting an error saying that you're not authorized to access this. So that's where you saw on the previous screen, we are trying to take the token. The token needs to be updated here so that it is secured and it knows who you are. And once the token is given, you send it. It took like 5 seconds basically and gave you the answer with more precise format. And again, right, you just change the model, the endpoint is same. So now I'm taking another article and I'm asking it to rephrase this particular paragraph. It rephrases for me. Come on, yep. It rephrases for me. Yeah. Yep. So that is pretty much how it looks in terms of the model cockpit capabilities. Let me go on to the other section. Okay. So the next topic I want to talk about, let's assume everyone here took red pill, right? So how you manage a platform when you take a red pill. So that is something very important. How you scale your models, how you scale your GPUs. So all those are the challenges what you need to face across when you go to the real world scenario, because I mean, that is what it is, right? I mean, without that, it is difficult basically. So these are all the challenges, especially when you're going to the self-managed model. The problem is like whether it is an open source, like the open source LLMs is free, or is there any clauses for it? So that is the first thing what you need to check. And second thing is like generalized LLM versus specialized LLMs, which I spoke earlier. And also auto scaling, intelligent auto scaling is something else, is also very important. So if you see the right side spider graph, you can see each model has its own set of sectors or set of capability which it can use. So if you see GPT is almost covering everything, and Claude as well, but there are some models very specific to the text phase, and they're not that good with the coding base, right? So you need to choose your model, and if your model is not doing good, you need to make sure you fine tune the model and put the weights accordingly so that you train the model in the right way basically. How you manage your LLM in an automated way, which is very important, because we don't want people to just go ahead, spin up manually, write the Python code manually and things like that, right? So you need to fine tune the model, you need to deploy the model in automated way using ML. We use ML flow or Kubeflow basically for fine tuning and experimentations, and we use ML model registry and scanning and things like that. So these are all the automated way of techniques what we use as we speak today. Okay, so I wanted to quickly touch upon the optimization part of it, where a traditional way of deploying versus what we do it in Freshworks, the pioneered way, basically using AI Fabric. So let's say you have 2 billion models, you want to deploy 3 and 1.7 billion models, where today you need 4 GPUs, which is not cost effective, right? So if you use the modern way of deployment, like you can kind of do a fractional GPU where it consumes only 2 GPUs basically. So that's where you're saving the cost, you're impacting the model basically. So these are all the few modern way of techniques what you can use: fractional GPU and model composition, model multiplexing. So these are the advanced topics where you can better do how your model is kind of deployed and how you can host your model in a better way basically. So Yeah, with all these techniques and challenges and all these insights, I hope your ML journey takes off successfully. Thanks for the session.